former prisoner and inmate.
You did it.
What are you doing, Guns?
You bit the hell out of me.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the first with your body, got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success after prison, and he's going to share his story with us right now.
Diamond shine, best at night. You wear yours, I'll wear mine. Go dumb tonight.
What's up? So, been a while since I made a video. I have to apologize. I've been crazy busy. I got a lot going on. It's summertime where I live, you know, summer's short, so I try to get as much fun and outdoor stuff as I can do while I can. Really busy with this TV project situation, although it's now kind of gone into the hands of the business people, you know, the financiers and the production people, and there will be a lot of work ahead for me to do in terms of publicity and PR and stuff coming in the weeks to come. So, but right now I'm really like hyper focused on my new novel, the Snowman Chronicles, about the two huge coke smugglers. And I'm really enjoying it. It's a long book. It's like 700 pages. I have to edit it down to about 6 or under. So I'm trying to trim a little here and trim a little there. But it's such a good story, and there's so much, like, trimming anything sucks, you know, because it's anyone who's read one of my books, especially like To Be a King or something, you read it and you're like, oh my goodness, you couldn't have trimmed anything out of that. You would have ruined it. Well, you have to find a way, and I will, and that's what I've been doing. I've been working full time to do that. So it's exciting and fun, but very busy. Then I have my radio show, and I have to, I don't know, I get dozens and dozens of author queries. I have to kind of go through the authors I want to have on the show, get sponsors. I have to, you know, get all the PR materials from the authors, yada, yada, yada. That's a ton of work. It could take, I took 6 days to go through like 150 emails and select 4 authors, you know what I'm saying? So I have to get all that. So that's what I'm doing. So if I haven't seen a video in a while, that's just it. I'm sorry. I just don't, there's no real ROI, and only on Facebook, YouTube videos, it's like, it doesn't make me any money. So I'm after the money, whatever can make me money for now. But I do this as a form of like therapy to kind of take a break. And I've been thinking about, I think about stories all the time that I could share all the time. And some I've shared before, some I haven't, you know, most of the, the major ones I've shared, but sometimes I'll go, oh man, that's a good story. It's kind of a short one, but it's good. And I'll share it with my wife or something. Then I'll forget it. Then I'll just be like, what was that story I told you the other day? I don't remember. And so I got a ton of them. But one of them, I was just kind of telling my wife this whole story about after hours clubs. So I thought I'd tell you that one because it's a funny one, and it's interesting, and it's funny, but not funny. Anyways, I'll share it. I think it's interesting and funny. That's my opinion. So first of all, let me go back in time. So I've told a story about my boy Ricky, and a couple of videos back, I talked about me and Ricky got in a big bar fight, and I gave the history of Ricky, how Ricky was this kind of thieving young kid from the neighborhood who stole things and brought it to me to sell for weed. He'd trade me, VCRs and televisions and stolen guns, like jewelry, whatever. And I'd buy it, and then I'd resell it either out of my house or at my uncle's pawn shop. But I didn't really know the dude until I went to jail for 2 weeks for a pistol. And he happened to be in the same unit as me. So I became good friends with him. And then I supported him for 4 years while he was in prison. And then he ended up getting out. And after he got out, this is what happened this is about the time he got out. And I told the story how we got in this big bar brawl, right? At City Rhythms is the club. And I didn't tell the story about the fight that we got in the following week. And I'll save that for another show at Lagos, which is a good story too. Hilarious. We went there on a boat, and the bouncers were all like, "You can't leave," because I just ripped some dude's shoulder out of the pocket, and he wanted to press charges. I was like, "Get the frick out of here! I'm leaving." I told the bouncers, "Don't touch me, man. I'm out." And we jumped in the boat, and there's like a marina. It's a no wake zone. You're supposed to go slow. And I jumped in the boat. It was like, whoop! Just blew all this muck and grass and crap up on the deck of the club. It was funny. But this is different. So, but it was around the same time. So let me just tell you a quick story. What happened there with my boy, his mother didn't allow me in her house because previously, a couple months before this, or about a month or two before this, we came home after the club with a bunch of girls, right? And on the way home, we stopped at the Peep Show and bought a bunch of whippets. I don't know if you know what whippets are, but they're nitrous oxide bottles, like, right? And you inhale them, and you it's just nitrous gas, right? And they wanted to stop and get some, but they didn't have no money, so I bought them, right? So I get in, we got all these girls, we're out doing, it's like 4 a.m, we're doing these whippets at my boy Mike Kane's house. And then it comes down to like the last one, and I'd only done 2 out of like 20. So I'm like, man, I'm gonna do that last one. And Jay, who is Mike's younger brother, now Mike is one of my best friends, he's out of prison on parole, just got out of prison on parole, and so Jay's on parole too for the same charge, believe it or not. The feds raided the house, the DEA raided their house. There was a safe, but the safe was in Jay's room, so he said it was his because his brother was already on parole, and he didn't want his brother to take the case. So this is what a G he was. He said, "Yo, the dope's mine," but the warrant was for Mike because the informant, said that Mike sold him the dope. Anyways, they said either open up the safe, and he says no. He says they got a warrant for him, and then he charged both of them. So they both ended up with Fed cases. Mike went away for 4.5 years, and Jay got probation or parole, whatever it was. And so I like Jay, but he was one of them dudes, the perfect example of what happens when a guy gets on steroids. He was a kind of a passive, non-aggressive dude. He's really good on a dirt bike, man. He could do mad wheelies, and he was cool. He'd drive the shit out of my Ninja, man. He'd scare me. I let him have my Ninja, and he'd wheelies down the street. I'm like, no, I like him. But as soon as he started doing steroids, it changed his entire demeanor. Like after like 2 or 3 months, he starts acting tough. He's acting tough, getting cocky with me and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'll beat your ass, Chase. Gonna settle down, man. Steroids don't mean you're tough. You're getting a little bigger, you're getting a little stronger, but you ain't no tough guy. And that night, the mother ever got tough with me. Like, slickly, man. I'm doing these last whippets, man. F-U-L. I said, what'd you say, bro? I said, I'll beat your effing ass, kid. Who the frick you talking to? And then Mike goes, kind of gets between us and says, come on, Al, man. You're my boy, but I can't just let you beat my brother's ass. I said, you hear what he said to me? Now, so the kid, I said, I'm going to beat this mother effer's ass talking slick. So he goes in the kitchen, grabs a knife, a kitchen knife, and he comes standing at the end of the hall like, yeah, what's up? What you want to do? And I'm like, really? A knife? Okay. And Mike's like, Al, just go outside and calm down. It's like 4 a.m. So I go outside and I calm down. I'm like, I don't want to fight my friend. In fact, true story, just like a week before this, we were getting ready to go out. There was like 10 of us sitting at Mike's house. Maybe like 6 or 7 of us. Everybody's, playing Nintendo, drinking a little bit, smoking a little bit, getting ready to hit the club. About 6 of us dudes. And I'm like, Jay, why aren't you getting dressed? He's like, man, I ain't got no freaking money. He did sightings. Like, I'm waiting for this job to come in so I get this money. I'm like, and I literally said, what? I pulled out my knot, which, pulled out a fat knot, peeled a 50, because he's on the other side of the room. There's like 10 people between us. I peel a 50 off, I crumble it up, I said, and I throw him the 50, and he catches it. I said, now go get ready, man. And he's like, opens it up. He's like, you serious? I said, go get ready, man. You got $50. That's enough for drinks and food, whatever you need, mother effer. Come on. And I was that cool. I was that cool about, my boys. Like a week later, 2 weeks later, he does this whole thing with the freaking whippets and wants to freaking, stab me. So I go outside and I tell Mike, come outside. Now, Mike knows me really good. He's my training partner and I see him every day. Mike's doing really good. He's on parole, but he's rough framing houses. He's making probably, $60,000 a year. He lives with his mom. This is his mom's house, but she's real cool, She smokes pot, whatever. She don't care about us partying over there, hanging out. And this is in Roseville. Roseville is kind of a lower middle class suburb of Detroit. It's the next city over from where I live. It's kind of, there's kind of dumpier areas. His area was pretty dumpy. There's a lot of drug dealers and a lot of drugs in there. I knew a bunch of cats there. I liked all them Roseville guys. But they were like, these are like starter homes that were $30,000 back then. You know what I'm saying? That now they're still only worth like 50. So it's not really a high-end area. So Mike comes outside and he says, Al, I told him, go get Jay. Go get him, man. I want to talk to him. And he's like, why? I'm like, dude, he's like, I can't let you beat his ass. I said, I'm not going to beat his ass. I apologize to the kid. I don't want to fight with the dude. He's my boy. I'm like, just go in there and tell him, come outside. I want to talk to him. And, because his mother had kicked me out. She had woke up because we were fighting, we were yelling and arguing in the hallway. So she woke up, what's happening? And she's like, no, Al's got to leave. So I told Mike to bring the kid outside. And Mike comes back out. He says he won't come out and talk to you. I'm like, why? He's like, he thinks you're going to beat his ass. I'm like, are you serious, bro? I'm trying to freaking, squash the beef. He's like, he thinks you're going to beat his ass. So I'm like, ain't that some bullshit? So I jump in my car and I leave. So now I'm not allowed over my boy Mike's house, right? Because his mom said so. She says, he's a ticking time bomb. That's exactly what she said. She's like, I don't trust Al. He's dangerous. He's a ticking time bomb. There's a couple other funny incidents that I did. Don Krupa comes walking in one day. He's this big, tough, muscle-bound looking man. He ain't tough, but he looks tough. Comes walking in one day. And I'm sitting there on the edge of the couch. Man, if you listen to this, Don, I always liked you. It wasn't personal. I literally did like you. I bought my furniture from you. He comes walking by me, and he's a big old motherfucker. He's way bigger than me. And as he walks by me, I'm just like, wham! And I punch him in the leg, give him a freaking Charlie. And he's like, motherfucker, what the frick, man? What the frick? He's like, one of these days, motherfucker. And I get serious. I'm like, what you mean one of these days? One of these days what? One of these, what you gonna do? He's one of these days, someone's gonna press charges on you, Al. The whole room started laughing. Everybody's busted out laughing, including him. And then he starts saying, man, why are you freaking always punching on me, man? You always fucking with me, bro. I said, he's like, why do you F with him and them and that? I said, those guys are 170 pounds. Those guys, they're a freaking 230-pound gorilla, bro. Punch me back is what I'm looking for. I want you to punch me back, right? He goes, no, I know better. Because if I punch you back, you're going to punch me back again, even harder. And then I punch you back, then you end up punching me in the face and beating my ass. I said, no, bro, you got it all wrong. I'm not going to do that. If you punch me back, I'm going to be like, yeah, nice shot, bro. Not bad. Wham, I'm going to hit him back, but I'm not, I respect it if they just, if they punch me back. That's why I was trying to get these. I did this all the time with the big muscle-bound mother-effers, right? Because only the ones that I knew weren't tough. Only the ones who were big for nothing. Like there were other big tough guys that I would never punch like that because they might punch me in the face. I knew a bunch of guys. You wouldn't punch Jerry Gaudette in the leg like that, or Mike McCauley or some of these guys. You get your head knocked off, But these guys, I'm trying to tough them up and also prove that they're really not tough guys. They're just pretending to be tough guys because they're on steroids and they're big. And I just didn't like it, you know what I'm saying? And I sold steroids to all these motherfuckers, so I knew they were on them. So anyways, fast forward a few weeks, whatever, months, and I'm outside waiting for these guys. There's like 6, 7, 8 guys in the house, and they're all drinking and smoking and getting ready to hit the club, right? Mike wasn't smoking because he was on parole. I smoked his first joint with him when he got off parole. My nose was dripping. But he wasn't smoking any weed or doing any drugs when he was on parole. Nothing. He was a straight shooter. He drank a little bit, but that was it. So they're all I could see them all through the front window of the house. I'm sitting in front of the house, leaning against Mike's mom's car. Just like Cutlass, right? And they're sitting there leaning in, and I can hear them all in there laughing and busting balls, and I can see them. They're right there for 10 feet from me. And I keep going, come on, you guys, let's go. Let's hit the club, man. And they're like, oh, it's still early. It's only 8 o'clock, man. We'll leave in like another 20 minutes. And 20 minutes go by. They're like, oh, we need to finish these beers. And I'm going, come on, mother effers. I'm sitting here waiting, you know what I'm saying? Like an asshole. And they're all laughing. They're waving in the window. Hey, Al, you good out there? I'm like, fuck you, mother effers, man. Beat all your asses. And they're laughing, ha, ha, ha. Then here comes Ricky. Who, like I said, I put Ricky in the game. I got, as soon as Ricky got out, I hooked him up not only with the job with Mike, roughing houses making $25 an hour, but also hooked him up with a sack. I was like, here's a couple pounds of weed, start slinging, you'll be all right. You get on your feet. Next thing you know, he buys a new Taurus Show. It's a pretty nice car. Eventually bought a convertible Mustang. And so he's all dressed up nice, you know. This is after we'd gone out and gotten fights. I gave him a bunch of clothes when he first got out. Not a bunch. I gave him a couple like jerseys and a couple pair of jeans, brand new. And I hooked him up with my Connect because I had a Connect. This black dude who had like a bunch of crackheads who would hit the mall and steal all kinds of stuff. And then he had it, and like he had like a store in his basement, all laid out, jeans, shirts, whatever, polo, everything. And you could go down there and buy it for like 20% on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? You know, he worked midnights. He'd bang on the door and he'd wake up and he'd have a sleep. What's up, man? I'm like, man, we need some gear. Come on. You go in the basement and you just wait. You pick out whatever you want, cash him. It was a good thing. I hooked Ricky up with the guy, so he's always dressed nice. And by the way, all this stuff too, by the way, that I'm sharing, is not things you're ever going to find. This is the funny part about some of the naysayers or experts or historians. You're never going to find any of this in a Fed case or Fed. But you might be able to track down a couple of dudes and ask them. You might ask Ricky or Mike or one of these guys, this is all true, but they're going to say, yeah, it's exactly what happened. And, or that's just how it was. It's not big things, but the thing is, for example, in a mafia family, there are, for everything that the feds have written down or picture of or video of, whatever, there's 1,000 things that have happened. For every guy that they're aware of or tracking or whatever, there's 100 guys that they don't know about, that are associated, that are doing things on the side, that they don't hear every conversation had with every mob associate ever. They don't follow every guy all day and then are able to decipher the conversation had between this dude and that. It's ridiculous, you know. But some of these kids, they're in the basement and they watch too many videos and stuff, and they think that's how it is because they Google stuff, you know, 302 files and FOIA files. Anyways, so Ricky says to me, Al, I know you're not gonna like this, but I want to take Ramona's brother. Now, my girlfriend's name is Ramona, and her brother is fresh out of prison, right? He is a crackhead scumbag that I despise. Now, in my life, I don't think I may have hated one or two guys like in prison, and this guy, his name is Mark. I hate the dude. He is the lowest down, schemingest, scumbag, thievingest, dirtbag crackhead I've ever seen. He's thrown his own sister out of her moving car. It was her car. He pushed her out of it on Gratiot while I was doing 10 miles an hour and stole her car. He's walked in and taken his own father's TV, unplugged it while the father was watching it, and took it to go sell it for crack. This is the kind of guy he is. So he's fresh out of jail, and he's living with me because my girl said we had just bought this house, and I had put it in her name, right? Because I had no credit, I had nothing, I didn't make any legal money. So the house is in her name, and she asked me, she said, Al, please, my dad just died. Let Mark live at the house. My girl wasn't even living at the house. It was just me. She's like, let Mark live there till he gets on his feet, a few weeks, a month or two, you know, till he gets a job and get his own place. He's got $20,000 coming from my father's inheritance, so it won't be long. I'll buy a car, find a house, so I'll be like, whatever. But they're waiting. The money was still in litigation. They're waiting for the money to kind of get the money, the inheritance. And I didn't want to seem like an asshole. You know, I'm like, geez, the guy just did a couple years in prison. He's been in and out of prison his whole life. So he's never been on the street for more than a couple of months since he was like 17. And at this point, he's probably, 24 or something like that. 24, 25. And, but he's just a scumbag and I couldn't stand him. So he's living in my house. I'm cordial with him. I'm nice to him. I make sure he cleans up his messes. He's quiet. He did it. And it's my house. I'm running this mother effer. Eventually, I end up slapping the shit out of him. And that's when he ratted me out. I end up slapping the shit out of the dude. This is actually when we were a little older, I think. I can't remember. But, and then he went and told the cops I had a house full of dope because he saw me counting a bunch of money. He walked in while I was counting like 40 grand on the table. I didn't hear him. He didn't have a car. This is before he had a car, and he walked in and opened the door and goes, holy crap. And he's like, hell, man, put me in the game, man. I know you got a bunch of coke. Put me in the game. It was all money from heroin, too, and weed. And he ended up telling on me. But anyways, I hate it. This is before all that. And this is the story, how you'll see how it ends. He's in my house, and Ricky comes over, and he's like, Al, I want to pick up Mark and take him out. He's like, that's my boy. And these guys are friends before they both went to prison. They're both were drug addicts, crackhead. I didn't know Rick was a crackhead. I didn't know this at the time. I didn't know he smoked crack and did dope and whatever. All I knew of him was this thieving kid from the neighborhood. He came over. He was a good-looking kid, kind of muscle-bound kid. He'd come over. He'd bring me stolen stuff. I'd give him some weed, and that'd be it. That's all I knew. And then in jail, I met him. This is after he had got out of prison after 4 years. He was kind of like a boss in there. He was all tattooed and big, and everybody was on his dick, which I thought was funny. And I said, yeah, I'll I'll send you money every month and I'll support you and whatever. So now I don't know. I was on again, off again, crackhead though. And he hung around this dude, Mark. And they did steal some crap for me. Like I had them break into a house to steal 10 pounds of weed. It's just funny. It's always 10 pounds, but it was 10 pounds. It was this dude in East Detroit. That's a whole nother story. I could do a whole show on that. But they cased out this house where I knew all this weed was that I found through a girl. I went to this house with a girl after the club, and dude's like, "Hey, here's a joint." And he pulls his chest open. There's 10, 11 pounds in there. And I told my boy, I told Ricky and these guys, go in there and get it, and I'll give you $5,000. And so they're like, bet. And it was like 11 pounds. I got $5,000. So there's a whole nother story behind it. Anyway, so I say to Mark, bro, I don't want to freaking go out with this mother effer. I don't like him. I said, and I can't hit on any freaking girls while I'm in the club because it's Ramona's brother. I can't freaking, basically, you ruin my night. If he's in the club with me, the night's over for me. I'm there for nothing. He's like, come on, Al, man, just the one time, man. Guy's never been to a club. He's never been out with me, man. Never seen anything, bro. Guy's been his whole life in prison. Let's take him out, bro. Let's have fun. I said, whatever, bro. You're driving, bro, but just know you fucked me all night. No, I can't do nothing. I might as well stay home, But I didn't want to stay home, so we go pick him up. So it's Mike Kane, Jay Kane, the brothers, Mark, my girlfriend's brother, Ricky, and myself. Everybody in the car is on parole. The whole car is on parole, except me. I'm not on nothing. I'm not on probation or nothing. I don't think so. I wasn't on nothing. So go down to this freaking club, and we go to State Theater. They called it, I think they called it Club Hollywood on like Saturday nights. But it was the State Theater downtown. Everybody from Detroit knows State Theater. Big, huge club, massive club, massive, holds 10,000 people or whatever. And I'm kind of in a bad mood now. I remember standing in line with these guys, and like there was some girls, and then I had this tight silver like sheen shirt on, right? I remember my boy going, "Al, you look like a freaking beast," and I'm like, I said, "Nah, I mean, I'm pretty big." I'm like, "You guys are all a freaking beast too," and they were all big, muscle-bound mother effers. Steroided up mother, and they go, "Al, there's a big difference between 6 foot 215 and 5'10", 250. That's what I was at the time, about 250, big, huge. And he's like, and I remember going on the dance floor that night, and as I came through this massive crowd in the dance floor, it parted like the Red Sea. Everybody went around me, and I was trying to dance with girls, but they didn't want nothing to do with me. I was too big. In fact, to be perfectly honest, this is one of the only times I ever did steroids. I actually did some steroids because I was trying to play football, so I was trying to get in best shape of my life, and I'll get to that in a minute. So I was on some testosterone, and it ballooned me up. Which reminds me of another thing. When I was at while I was waiting for those mother effers, Mike had been doing some tests, and he just did a new bottle and took a couple cc's out. And he's like, "I don't want to do it no more. It's making me too bloated." He's like, "Do you want it?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take it. Hell yeah. No, I'm on it. I'll do it." So he gives it to me. I put it in my pocket. Well, that'll play a role in a minute. So now we're in the club, and I remember like girls really weren't feeling me. I was just too. It was a big, massive, bloated mother effer, man. Just huge. I mean, I'm still pretty. I'm like 225 pounds now, but if you added like 50 pounds of muscle, that's what I looked like. And so I'm sitting there, and they're all like, "Man, Jay and these guys are looking at these girls. They were hot chicks. There was a couple of hotties. There was like 3 or 4 girls, but 2 of them were really hot. And I'm like, damn, man, that girl's over there. Freaking hot, blah, blah, blah. And they're talking. I'm like, go freaking hit on them, bro. Buy them a drink, something. Oh, no. Finally, I was like, you guys are pussies. I got nothing. Now I'm with Mark, my girl with his brother. So I'm like, oh, I can't do nothing. I walk over to girls and say, hey, listen, my boys over there, I think you're hotties. They want to buy you a drink. Hang out. And they're like, oh, really? Okay, cool. I said, come on over. So we go over there and we all hang out. And at the end of the night, club closes. We're going to hit this after hours club, right? And so I get in the front seat. I'm riding shotgun. This is where it's funny, right? And the girl, the hottest chick, I get her on my lap because she's like, we didn't have room. We're 5 of us in the car already. And so plus we piled 2 girls in. 2 of the girls came with us. We're going to go to the after hours club. And this super hot chick gets on my lap, man. And I'm flirting with her and like trying to, but Mark, my girlfriend's brother, he's in the back seat going, what are you doing, Al? What are you doing? She's like, she says to the girl, you know, that's my girlfriend's, my sister's brother. That's my sister's, my sister's boyfriend. My sister's boyfriend. He's got a girlfriend, you know. And I'm got my arm around her, and she has this V-neck, and I'm just like, because she had a perfect body. It was literally perfect. It was one of the most perfect figures I'd ever seen in real life. And she thought it was great that I was flirting with her. But my boy ended up banging her, my boy Brian. But, and actually she gave me her number that night, and she drove to see me that same night. But I was like, what am I going to do, man? Freaking, like, she knows I have a girlfriend now. So it's like, if I would have been smart, I would have just smashed it and be like, yeah, but I didn't want to be that guy. So we're pulling away. I don't know if it's Grand River or Michigan Avenue or one of them freaking streets downtown, Illinois, maybe. I don't know. I don't pay attention. I know the streets to go, but I don't even look at the names. I just know where to go. So we're pulling away from the State Theater, going down the one-way street, which is like a 3-lane road, like a major road, that cuts through downtown. And then we had to cut back and then go back the other way, right? So we're in the middle lane, and I got this girl in my lap, and I'm flirting with her and kind of talking to her, and guys are in the back talking to the other girl, and we're all just laughing, and everybody's drunk. It's loud, it's summertime, windows down. And all of a sudden, as we're coming up on the turn where we're supposed to turn, I go, Ricky, turn. And I didn't want to in the pass it. I got this girl. I'm like, yo, Ricky, turn. And he don't look in his rearview mirror or nothing. He just cuts the wheel. Boom! There was a red Corvette in the next lane, maybe in his blind spot, I guess. And freaking just smack. We turn and smash this freaking red Corvette, dude. And it just, I see all this debris and plastic flying all over the place. So I'm like, go. Just go. Like, don't stay around for this, bro. I'm like, what's he going to do? Just go. And so Ricky guns it. And he goes, the vet is not, I thought the vet was probably plowed. The tire was smashed in. It wasn't going to be able to drive. Oh, no, it was fine. It just smashed a bunch of the front end plastic and lights and crap, but it could still drive. Now this dude's chasing us through downtown Detroit. And this is the point where I had a guy named, I'm not going to say his name, but it's Mel Joseph. He was a guy, he was an agent, sports agent, and saw my highlight reel from the semi-pro team that I played for in New York. And he said, I can get you in a combine, which is a combine is, there are NFL scouts at these football combines, and they do scout certain talents that are free agents. It's rare, but they do it. So you have to be invited by an NFL team to get in the combine, or an NFL Europe team, which is how I got in. So I've been training for like 2 months for this, and I'm like in the best shape of my life. I'm just beast mode, bro. I'm rapping 225 on a bench for 25 reps, 315, 15 times. I'm squatting 225 for sets of 100. I'm in really good shape. And so Ricky's going, flying through downtown Detroit at freaking 2:30 in the morning. And he's blowing red lights. And I freaking like, no, man, I'm not going to freaking die like this, man. I'm not dying like this tonight. So I grabbed the shifter on his car, and I looked at it. I said, Ricky, stop the car and let me out. And he looked at me, and he kept going, oh. I said, Ricky, stop the car and let me out, or I'll throw this mother effer in park and blow your trans. And he looked at me, and he knew I was dead ass serious. Like, he looked one look in my eyes, and he's like, he slams on the brake. I go to throw the door open to jump out. And because I knew I had a cell phone. This is like early stage cell phone. It was a StarTech. It was one of those little flip phones. StarTech is what it was. The battery was die in an hour, but it was a good little cell phone to have. And I had 4 $100 bills. I know this for a fact because I'll get to that later. And I was like, I got $400 in a cell phone. Let's call a cab, whatever. I'll call a friend, my girl, somebody will come get me. And it's downtown, but so what? So as I go to jump out of the car, all of a sudden a cop comes. So I guess a cop had like picked up the chase a couple blocks back as we zung by. They see this car at the shore and the vet chasing. They're chasing, and the cop slides right next to us and like jumps out. I'm already out of the car, and I'm like standing there, and the cop's going, "Don't move! What are you doing? What's happening? What the fuck's going on?" And all I know is I got this bottle of steroids in my pocket, right? So Ricky said, the black dude goes, "Man, this dude smashed into me and took off." And Ricky goes, "Man, you flashed a gun at me, man. You flashed a gun at me." And the black dude's like, "What the frick are you talking about? I didn't flash nothing. I just came from dinner with my wife or girlfriend." Like, I'm saying, he was a pretty young dude, probably 25, 30-year-old dude driving this Corvette, probably works at, Ford or something. He's just a regular Joe. And Ricky said, "He flashed a gun at me." And that was his excuse to run. And the guy's like, "What are you talking about, man? I just want to get the insurance so I can, make a claim on my car. You smashed into me." And so they all start talking, this out. So I pull this bottle of steroids out and like act like I'm tying my shoe on the edge of the door there, and I throw the bottle of steroids under the car because I want to get caught with that. And I'm just thinking, all you mother effers are screwed, because when you're on parole, you're not supposed to be around anybody else on parole. So like parolees can't like knowingly hang around people who are felons, and all 5 of us are felons. 4 of them are actively on parole, 2 fed parole, 2 state parole, and they all know it. So they're all screwed. I'm like, I'm good. I got $400 in a cell phone. I was, they arrest them all. I'll go. I'll just make a call, right? So all of a sudden, the cop, the dude is saying, hey man, I just want to get the insurance and make a claim for it. That's not even a big deal. And all of a sudden, you hear the radio on the cop's belt going, there's 211, active 211, shooter in progress at such and such freaking whatever. And it was like 2 blocks away. And the cops look at us and go, listen, we got to go. Like, listen, if you want to make a report, go up to the police station, make a report. They'll file one there. We got to go. And they freaking jump in their car, peel out. They got to go to this armed robbery at a gas station 2 blocks away, right? So we're looking at the black dude, right? And Ricky's like, I said to the dude, I said, you want to make a police report? He's like, yeah, I just want it for an insurance claim. I said, all right, cool. You know where the police station is? He's like, yeah. I'm like, all right, we'll follow you. This is where it gets funny, because I knew where it was too, and I knew what I was going to do. I said, take the service drive, and then you go down the blah blah on the lodge, and you cut over by the what's the name of that hospital over there? I can't name the hospital on that. I can't remember. There's a hospital right off the Lodge Freeway there. It's where all the records are kept. It's right on the tip of my tongue. Anyways, so the guy said, all right, cool, I'll drive and we'll follow. So we all pile back in the car, the 7 of us, and we're driving right down the service drive. And as we're going down the service drive, here comes the on-ramp to the Lodge Freeway. So I say, Ricky, when that guy gets past the on-ramp, go on the on-ramp and just go. So he's like, you serious? I'm like, yeah, bro, just go. He ain't got your information. So as we're both following down the service drive, and then we come to the on-ramp for the Lodge Freeway, Ricky just kind of veers off, and this guy keeps going straight. Ricky goes, but at one point, like the last thing I saw was I look up the hill, and I could see the guy looking down at us, and I wave. I'm such a dick. I'm just like, see you, bro. And it was funny. And then we ended up going to this after hours club, and I'm not gonna get, because it's 30 minutes already. I'm not gonna get into I'll do a follow-up after hours club story that's the main story about the after hours club, because we just don't have time. I don't want to do an hour-long show, but one thing is that so what ended up happening is we ended up going to this after hours club, right? And I think it was, no, this wasn't the first after hours club I went to. So the first after hours club is the one that I'm going to tell you about next time. Ricky's involved in that too. But this particular one was over by Tycoon's, a titty bar on 8 Mile. And I remember walking in there. It was about 3:15 in the morning. The place was banging. Club was, I'd only been to after hours club a couple times. Eventually, I opened my own after hours club. Me and a couple partners, we all did it, and it was good until it didn't last long. Man, it lasted about 4 or 5 weeks and got shut down. Cops, people got busted. Somebody overdosed. Long story. I'll get into it, but so we go into this after hours club, and I walk in and we all kind of dispersed looking for girls. There's girls all over the freaking place. And I remember there's this really beautiful blonde girl. And I'm not really a blonde guy myself, but very, very attractive. And boob job, short, cute, beautiful. And I say, hey, what's up with you? And so I come over, and she says, you want to hit our ecstasy? And I'm like, no, thanks. It's getting kind of late. I'm good. She's like, I just got off of work. And I'm like, what do you do? She's like, I dance at some strip club. And I'm like, oh, cool. She's like, listen, you want to come home with me? We'll go back to my house and hang out. This chick was just trying to bone me. Couldn't believe it. How the freaking hottest chick you ever seen. And she was like, you want to come back to my house? And it was such a turnoff to me, because I was like, what kind of freaking girl like meets a dude 5 minutes ago and says, want to pop an ecstasy pill and go back to my house and bone? I just thought that was gross, bro. And I'm like, ugh, no, thank you. No, thank you, right? So totally gross. But the irony of that is, about a month later, I'm in a strip club, and I meet this black girl, this beautiful black girl, and she tells me she smokes weed. So I sell weed, so I bring over some weed, and this is another perfect example of how I didn't bone chicks if I thought they were gross. So she lived in Farmington, which is like a 40-minute ride from my house, but she was that hot, right? I go all the way to her house, and I said, hey, you said you smoke weed, and I brought some weed for you, and I show her the weed. She goes, I don't smoke that bullshit. She want to smoke a joint. There's the good weed. She under the coffee table was a thing, bag of hydro. It's a bag of the stupid stankin' big ones. I'm like, holy crap. So we smoke one, and I get super high and a little bit paranoid and whatever. And at one, she's like, listen, I got the place to myself before my roommate comes home. She's like, I just want to get some dick. That's what she said. I just want to test that dick of yours. And I'm like, I had her like top off when I was playing with her titties and stuff. But I really wasn't trying to bone her, man. Like this is the first time I've ever been over her house. I've never gone out with her, never on a date, never nothing. I mean, I remember saying, like, are these even real? These are real? And she's like, they're real. And I'm playing. But other than that, I mean, I just wasn't motivated to try and bone her right there. I should have been. Most guys would have been. But the fact that she was willing to and then said, hey, I just want to test that dick. I was like, oh, man. You know, like how many other mother effers have been over here, you know, testing that dick? I said, man, I didn't do it. I said, do it. But anyways, I didn't make the move. So you could tell she kind of got frustrated. She's like, some of these guys, they just don't get it. I just want some D. And I'm not that guy. And I'm sitting there talking to her, you know, half an hour later. I'm all high watching a movie or something. And in walks that blonde girl from like a month ago. The one who wanted me to bone her. The one who said, you want to e-pill. Same chick. Her name was Summer. So she comes walking in. She opens the door. And she's like, hey. I'm like, hey. She's like, and the girl says, oh my goodness, this is the dude I was telling you about. And she says, oh, this is the guy I was telling you about. And that's, it's funny. I guess they like me or whatever. And I never boned either one of them because I thought they're whores, gross. And it just goes to show you how men value women. Like if you're a total loosey-goosey and skanky ass whore, don't matter how hot you are, some men are just going to be like, no thanks. No, I'm good. Some men will. Not all men. Most men, the average dude in that situation would be like, oh my God, jackpot. I'm like, nah, I'm good. I can get laid anytime, dude. I got 5 girls I can call. I got a girlfriend. I don't want some skanking asshole. Now let me go back to the end of the night with the night where we crashed the car in the after hours club. And so this girl comes in there and I say, no, thanks. But I'll get your number. I'll call you, whatever. So I lose all my boys in there. It's this big after hours club. I walking through, I'm hitting on girls. Everybody's asking me if I want to buy some dope. You want some ketamine? You want some this? You want that? I'm good then. And it was super smoky in there, like people smoking cigarettes and but I got the idea, like this is a great, like a drug bazaar. Like I need to open up an operation like this, put a bunch of dudes in there selling dope, and you can make a killing. There's like 500 people in there. I found Ricky in the back room, and he had this freaking chick, this Amazonian chick, who was also a stripper. But she was tall, man. She was like 5'10", maybe not that tall, but like 5'8". 5'9", I don't know. She was a big, tall chick, big fake titties, and she was like a big Amazonian chick. And he was sitting on like this, I don't know what it was, like a table, and he had her kind of on his lap, and he's like hugged up with her and kissing on her. And there were some other people in the room, and I don't know where Mike and Jay went. I lost them in the crowd, and I don't know where my girlfriend's brother went either. And that was one of the main things. Like, why am I even here? I can't hit on these girls. Like, if I would have went home with the blonde girl and my girlfriend's brother would have saw me leave, game over. Dude, he's going to go home and say, yeah, I saw Al leave with a girl last night. Never came home. You know, and then I got to deal with that headache for the next 2 weeks. My girl going, you freaking asshole, breaking up, blah, blah, blah. And my home is in her name. So I can't just do that. I can't just, risk it. So I'm in there like, la-da-da. So I go find Ricky and I say, hey, man, listen. Give me your keys, bro. I'm going to drive myself home. Like, this girl can take you home. Like have her take you to my house when you're done doing whatever you're going to do. If you're going to hang out with her tonight or go do what you're going to do, go wherever you're going to go, just give me your car. I'll take it home and it'll be at my house. And he says, he didn't really want to do it at first. I'm like, dude, I want to leave, bro. It's smoky in here. It's loud. I can't do nothing. Ramona's brother is here. It's 4 o'clock in the morning now, bro. give me your car. And he says, all right, cool. Because he says to the girl, can you drive me? And she's like, yeah, of course. I got a car, I'll drive you home. I'm like, all right, bet. No, all right, but be good, have fun. I'm out. Jump in the car. I've been in the club for about an hour and a half at the most, hour and 15, not that long, the after hours club. Drive to my house, which is about 10 minutes away. And this club is on 8 Mile. And when I pull up, I see Mark, my girlfriend's crackhead brother, in the kitchen. I see him only because of the light from the stove. You know how the stove got the light, like cast the light? And I see him moving around, and he's looking out the window because I just pulled up in Ricky's car. And I see him moving. Now I'm thinking, then I see him light like a cigarette. And I'm ready for bed. I need a shower because I stink like cigarettes from this club. And I'm like, this guy can't possibly be in there all cracked out and tweaking, bro. Like, he's just got out of prison like 7 days ago. If that. 5 days ago. Just got out of prison. Fresh out. I'm like, he can't possibly be in it. So I walk in laughing. I open the door. I go, what's up, man? You tweaking, bro? You smoking? And I say that on the laughing tip, like not being serious. I go, damn, bro, what you doing up tweaking, man? Look around, looking out the windows. You tweaking, bro? What happened to you? Like, where'd you go? He goes, oh, I went and got a hooker. I'm like, you went and got a hooker? Because I lost him in the after hours club. He vanished. He's like, yeah, man, I left. I walked down 8 Mile and got a hooker and, got laid and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, how'd you get home? He's like, cab. I'm like, when'd you get home? He's like, I don't know, 20 minutes ago. I don't believe anything he's saying. I'm like, something don't sound right, bro, but whatever, dude. I don't really care, right? Yeah, I'm like, in my mind, there's still no way he could be smoking rocks. No way, right? And just not that quick. I mean, maybe. I don't know. So I said, I got to take a shower. So I go to... I was wearing blue Nautica jeans. And I think... and that tight sheen silver muscle shirt, the kind that back in the 90s muscle heads wore. It was like a silver tighty shirt, like shows your muscles off. And I got a hamper that's across from my bathroom. I had a nice little house in Roseville. My house is a cute little house in Roseville, my first house. And I remember going in my pocket and counting my money. There was 4 $100 bills. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's pretty simple. $400 bills. All right, cool. I'm just going to leave them there. I take my pants off. I throw them in the hamper. I take my shirt off, underwear, throw it in the hamper. I go across the hall, take a nice shower, clean myself up. And right when I was about to go to bed, like I come out of the bathroom to go in my bedroom, something told me to check my pockets. Something told me to just I started going, I'm like, you know what? Check my pockets. So I pull my jeans out, go in my pocket. There's $200 bills. I walk in the next room. I said, bro, give me my money, bro. And he's like, what money? I'm like, the $200 you just stole out of my pocket, you crackhead mother effer. I didn't touch it. I didn't touch anything. Here was the problem with me. If I get to the point where I'm triggered, where I go over the edge, there's no going back. I know if I let myself get to that point, I'm going to hurt him. Then I have to deal with my girlfriend. It's her brother. It's her family. My home is in her name. And I loved her. I didn't want to beat up her brother because she would have been very upset and hurt and mad at me. So at this point, I had a Rubicon. Fuck it. Or beat his brains in. Now, naturally, my first inclination, even at 4 a.m, 5 a.m, whatever it was, to just pound his head in. Just grab him up the throat, bam, and start beating him. Which I eventually did, by the way. But I said, calmly, I said, that's all right, bro, keep the money. Now you have 2 weeks to get out of my house. I was going to give you a couple of months. to get on your feet, get your shit together, find a place. Now you have 2 weeks. 2 weeks, that's it. And he's like, you can't kick me out. This is my sister's house. And I said, listen, I guess me her every day would make her mine. And anything she's got is mine too. And he growl something. And I was like, yeah, exactly, mother effer. I said, you got 2 weeks. That's it. In 2 weeks, you're out. You stole $200 out of my pocket, bro. But it's all right. I bought you off. I would pay the $200 to get your fucking crackhead ass out of my house 2 months early. So good luck, man. 2 weeks. And we actually did find him. I found him a job and a house. I did. That's how badly I wanted this mother effer out of the house. I went and got him a job at Seal Bright, Nick Morelli's place. I went in there and said, dude, this guy's working. He needs to work, blah, blah, blah. They hired him and paying him like $18 an hour. And I found him a house living in like a flat on top of some other house and paid for the deposit myself. Bang. Paid it. Here's the deposit. Boom. Get the F out. It was close enough to walk to work. Boom. He messed it up within 2 weeks, 3 weeks. He was back in prison. But anyways, so this is where it's even a little bit funnier. This is the end of the story. So I go back. I go to bed. I'm tired. It's like I said, it's 4 or 5 in the morning when I hit the sheets. I get up in the morning to pee. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning. I got to take a leak, right? So I wake up after a few hours, right? And as I get up to take a leak to pee, I thought to myself, you know what? I left Ricky's keys on the table. Uh-oh. So I walk straight into the kitchen. I look right where I left the keys, and they're gone. I look out the window. The car is gone. He's gone. So, whatever, man. That's Ricky's boy. He's the one who wanted him to hang out with us that night. So, Ricky shows up about noon with this girl. Comes over to the house noon. He comes over. What's up? You know, he's like, all happy. He got laid all night, whatever. Banged the stripper. He says, yo, where's my car? Because he came in my house and like, where's my car? It's not here. So he kind of walks up on the porch, and I see him out there. Open the door. I'm like, what's up? He's like, where's my car? I said, I got a funny story to tell you. I'm like, your boy took the car. He's like, what? I'm like, yeah, your boy stole your car, bro. So 3 days later, the police found the car sitting on the side of 6 Mile Road, which is Seymour's, or depending where you're at, it could be McNichols. But Seymour's is where they found it, in the Hood, which is a very known crackhead area where Mark used to get crack all the time. I robbed a couple of crack dealers in that neighborhood, believe it or not, when I was young, 15, 16 years old. I pulled a gun and robbed some crack dealers in a crack house, tied them up and everything. That's a whole nother story. But yeah, they found his car, and this is the funny story. It was out of gas, parked on the side of the road. It had a crack pipe in the ashtray and a pair of like fake Gazelle sunglasses on the over years we'd always say, you're rocking them Gazelles, like these fake Gazelles. And if you don't know what Gazelles are, they're like these super like black hood glasses from the 80s and 90s or whatever. These were fake ones, I'm sure, but they were sitting on the freaking on the seat next to them. And at least he got his car back. He was completely happy. He's like, I don't even care really. I just got my car back, man. You know, and that was how it ended. And what ended up happening was this is how it ended. This is crazy. The brother went on a crack bender run for several days. And this is, in fact, I'm sorry, this is in fact before her father died. And I think yeah, exactly. It is before her father died. Because she actually begged me to let him stay there again. And I did it for the same reasons. And that was because her father had died this time. There's like 2 times he stayed with me over like a year and a half, whatever. Because he went back to prison. He after this crack bender, the cops picked him up. He was trying to steal. What was he trying? They found him looking in cars and pulled him over. And he was on parole. He was absconding. He had a crack pipe in his pocket. But no. Oh no. This is where her dad was sick. I'm sorry. That was a different time. This is where he stole her father's car. Her dad worked for Buick, so he got a free Buick. Every other year, they gave him a new car. He was like an executive for Buick, you know, and he was pretty high up. So when he retired, part of the deal was you get a new car every 2 years. So they give him a free Buick, you know, to drive. And he had just got it, and her dad was sick in the hospital. He wasn't dying yet, but he was approaching death over the next couple of months. He was coughing up blood, whatever. He came home after that, you know, where he vanished from my house and went in there and stole her dad's car. Now, her brother, who's a good dude, I like the guy. He might even watch this. And he's a good dude, Matt. What's up? Her brother said, I know where he probably is, in the Hood. So Ramona and her brother were driving around. Now, her dad is sick and dying in the hospital, the dude. And he just stole her father's car, this new Buick. And for a couple of days, they're driving around in the ghetto looking. First of all, it's not even safe for my girl and this guy Matt to be driving around where they at. It's very dangerous. Very dangerous. But they're driving around looking for their brother. And all of a sudden, they see him zoom, go by. So they go chasing after him. I think it was Ramona had a Z24 at the time, and it was pretty fast. So they're chasing him. He sees it's them, so he's flying and blowing stop signs. He blows the freaking stop sign and gets T-boned, and he gets T-boned by some car. Bang! And the car explodes. Somehow he's fine. He jumps out, runs up to a random car and says, "I need your car." The people peel off. Like black people too. They're like, get the frick out of here, bro. He starts, and my girlfriend and her brothers are like, they're going, "Mark, what are you doing, bro? What are you doing? Really? Dad's car? You just totaled Dad's car? What the frick? What's wrong with you, bro? What are you doing, man? Come on, stop." And he's like, "I need a car." He's running up to people, "Help me, help me." Finally, he walks up to some people and goes, "I'll give you $20 for a ride. Give me a ride." And they're like, "All right, man, give him $20. He give him $20. He jumps in, and they peel off. And eventually they catch him and he goes to jail. Like I said, they catch him, I don't know, a few days later. I think that's when he was like looking in cars and cops got him, and he freaking goes to jail. And then he's back for like a year and a half or whatever it was. And then that's when her father had passed away. And the next time he comes out, she asked me to, it might have been a couple of years actually, because it was a little bit later on towards when I went to prison. Moral of the story is he's in prison. He's in prison now. I mean, I'm assuming he's always in prison, but God bless his soul. I hope he changes his ways, finds God, and turns it around. But back then, he was a freaking maniac and bad dude. But kind of funny, because the irony is with Ricky, he's like, "Come on, I want to take my boy out, man. Just hang around." And I'm like, "Dude, the dude's bad news, man. He's just a freaking bad apple, bro. I don't want to be around this guy. He's a freaking scumbag." "Oh, no, come on, man. It's my boy. I want to take him out and have a party with us. You never been to the club." I'm like, "All right, bro." Yeah, literally. First night, bang, steals your car, smoking crack. I don't know. Anyways, that's a quick one. I got a million of these things, so hopefully you enjoyed them. And it's been a while since I posted one, so figured I would. Now I'm going to go work out, get ready for my live Wise Guy Wednesday show. So I'll probably post this tomorrow on Thursday. So everybody, I hope you enjoyed. And I'll still try to post one of these once a month or something like that. It's for the people who never heard these stories, and some people have. But there's a lot of new subscribers that have come to me after they saw me on the Connect or Collier's show or Collier Landry or whatever. A lot of people didn't watch every video I've ever made, even if I did tell this story 3 years ago at some point. Episode 112 out of 400. Maybe they didn't see it. So hopefully you enjoy it. And there's a million more of these. So God bless. I'm going to go work out. I'm out.
Former prisoner and inmate.
You did it.
What are you doing, Guns?
You bit the hell out of me.
Wanna see you with your hands up. Going straight to the sky, let me see you put your hands up. Cause we do till we die and we on another level.
I'm at New York City.
To the rest of your body, got a piece of the pie. Told you once, told you twice that we only got one life.
On the way to achieve success after prison, and he's going to share his story with us right now.
Diamond shine, best at night. You wear yours, I'll wear mine. Go dumb tonight.
What's up? What's up, guys? I heading out fishing. So whenever I drive, I tend to just make a video because I hate driving so when I'm recording a video, it kind of takes my mind off the whole driving thing. So I'm just like, So I got about a 25-minute ride ahead of me to my fishing spot. So I was like, I'll make a video. And I've been kind of waiting to do this video, to show the story. It's kind of a pivotal story in my life. It may not seem all that big to you, and it didn't seem big to me back then. But later on in life, even after I went to prison and stuff, and I realized, when I really realized who Tony Giacalone was, I realized it's kind of a big deal. But I didn't realize at the time. I'll tell you about it. So I think the last story I shared, which I didn't share, I haven't even published yet. Because, oh, by the way, I got a freaking strike. I got a strike on YouTube for medical misinformation, which is ridiculous. I did a show on the banking collapse, right? With a guy named Dennis Jansen, who's a financial guru, right? And I think he might have brought it up, the COVID and the scam or whatever. Anyway, somebody reported it, so I got reported. And they took my channel for a week. Like I give a shit, really. But so that's why I haven't posted any videos about my book, because I've been doing my book series. Everybody seems to be enjoying that. And then and a couple of these stories that are precursors to my life in the life of crime. The things that led me down a path of crime and self-destruction. That's the whole purpose of these videos. So anyone who doesn't know me can kind of have a better understanding of who I am now, who I was then, and how I became that person at the time, which, is a bad guy. I guess the environmental influences that were around me that